In March of last year, my dad's 28-year battle with Parkinson's was finally taking its toll on him. I remember just vividly the nurse calling me from the nursing home, and she called from his cell phone and she held it up to his ear, and because he was too weak to hold the phone to his ear, so that I was just able to talk with him. All I could say was, "Dad, I love you." And I just kept saying that over and over again. And my dad was trying to tell me things, but he couldn't. Parkinson's had taken over his vocal cords, and so he wasn't able. I couldn't understand a thing he was saying, and but God did allow me to hear one thing. My dad told me that he loved me with all of his heart, and that was such an emotional moment for me, and something that is etched in my memory forever. On March the 10th, 2020, my dad passed away. COVID restrictions weren't as great as they are now, so we were able to have a funeral for him, and his mom, who is 98 years old, was able to come, and his brothers and sisters and my family were all able to be together and to really honor my dad in that time. And it was just a really beautiful time to celebrate the life of my dad, who really taught my brothers and I to love the Lord above all else. When I came home from the funeral, just like the rest of the world, we were put into isolation because COVID hit hard. So I was unable to hug my friends. I was unable to talk face to face with my friends. I felt very lonely. Even though I had the love of my family, I felt very lonely. Not only did I lose my dad, but when I came home, I found out I was laid off from my job. And this was a very dark time for me. There were times that I felt I could only come to God in a fetal position. I felt like sometimes I was just crawling on my hands and knees towards him. And sometimes I felt like I could just honestly I had a little more strength and I could sit before him. I read my Bible daily, but to be very honest with you, I didn't feel strong, and I did not feel spiritual at all. I felt very weak. The loss and the grief were very overwhelming at that time. But over time, I started to see glimpses of hope through the prayers of my husband and my friends. I was starting to feel hopeful. I really felt like God was asking me to trust Him with my loss, to trust Him with my future, to trust Him in this isolation. And to this day, I still find it difficult to some days even just put one foot in front of the other. There are times that I still am battling events in my life that I'm still processing. And sometimes it's a real battle, even in my mind, to trust God with those things. But this is what I do know, is that my God, He is in control. He cannot be measured. He is incomprehensible. He is creative. He is eternal. He's unchanged. He's always with me. He's trustworthy. He knows all the past, the present, and the future, and His love for me, I cannot even fully fathom. And because of those things, I can keep putting one foot in front of the other. And for that, I praise Him.